All right, fine. I'll talk about Kanye West. All right, there. And we also have part 2 of our Avengers conversation. And, right now we're recording this on Friday. I've already seen it, so I'll probably just mention a little bit about the movie without trying to reveal anything as well. So, all that and more on this episode of Trend Chat. Welcome to another episode of Trend Chat. I'm your host, Brian Bledsoe. And if you want to connect with us, whether on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, it's all the same name, Trend Chat 24/7. And I write for polarizing.com. If you want to read some of my articles, including the one that was just posted yesterday about the Avengers, just go to polarizing.com/author/Brian Bledsoe. So, yes, as I said, I'm going to talk about Kanye West. It's not going to be long, really. Really, it's not because, if y'all know anything about me, as far as when it comes to, I guess, trying to react to what's going on, I tend to take things a little slow in comparison to others, especially the ones that do podcasts. And, I do that on purpose. And I know by being that way that's not going to endear me to a lot of people who want to, get the quick reaction to everything. But, I'm not going to just make a quick snap judgment or reaction off of anything, really. So, if that's what you're looking for, I'm sorry, that's not me. So, just like this whole thing with Kanye West, I guess. In the past week, he's been lighting Twitter on fire with, I guess you can call it, controversial opinion, which honestly it shouldn't be, but it is because him being black and also being a famous black man, for him to even compliment someone that is either conservative or have anything that is questioning progressive thought, anything like that is just gonna set off a whole wave of backlash from black Twitter, basically. But now, I have no clue what Kanye West is doing and or why. And so, if for some reason, I'm not gonna say all of a sudden, I don't know, maybe there's something that's been going on in his mind for years. He just finally feel comfortable just going out in public and saying it. But either way, if this is something that is real, where he is, he's really, and I'm not saying like he's about to become like this conservative Republican or whatever like that. Something that I always mention on here is that it's not about, if we're talking about the black community, where I want everyone to be a conservative Republican. That's, for me, no. All I want, at the very least, is just to question and just think about as far as who you're supporting. Now, if you're a person that believes in most of the things that the Democrat Party are for, as far as when it comes to whether it's, how taxes or immigration, abortion, if you agree with all those things, then okay, I can understand. But if you fundamentally disagree with all these different issues, but yet continue to vote for that party, that's where I have a problem. Like, okay, you disagree with all these different things that the party is talking about, but yet you continue to vote for them. That's why I feel like you're not really thinking about your support, or are you just going along because that's just what the community says that you should do. Majority of the black community basically said that you must vote Democrat because some say Democrats are for minorities, I guess, or whatever. And that's it. So I'm just saying, if Kanye West is at least questioning and feel like this is, this support for this party is not really going anywhere, great. At least have the discussion, But I'm not going to, me personally, I'm not going to take what he's done in a week, or at least what he said publicly in a week, and just all of a sudden, put him up like he's the next great conservative star, or basically want to have him be the keynote speaker at CPAC or something next year. No. Personally, regardless of, who he is or whatever, if someone is really considering basically changing their philosophy, changing the way they think, it's not gonna be a very, sudden progression. Because for one, you've been going on for years basically thinking one way, and now you're radically changing it. So that's going to take some time to really understand, one, why you even are going this direction, and to really understand your position as you move to another side somewhere. So, and also, and this can't be stressed enough, if Kanye is thinking of going this direction, or at least in a direction away from, the Democrat Party, or basically disagreeing with all the liberal, progressive, way of thinking. If he's just doing that, I hope he knows. I hope he's prepared for what's going to come if he continue to go down this road, because that's another thing about all this. Why I'm definitely have a wait and see attitude, because for Kanye, you're going from being, universally applauded for the most part, especially amongst the black community, to basically becoming a very minute minority. And I don't know if he's, ready to deal with that, because a lot's going to come with that, especially for him, because, his face is out there. He's a public figure and all that. It's really going to be, bad for him. And especially being in the entertainment industry, where this is something that I bring up before, is that if anybody has any thought that is outside of progressive ideology, if it's anything outside of that, in the entertainment industry especially, there are so many people that are surrounding that person that is basically going to just beat them down, and not physically, and probably not even in an angry tone. They'll probably come at him kind of like how John Legend did, trying to basically persuade him by saying things about his legacy, saying that he should reconsider supporting Trump or being or going down this road, because you need to consider your legacy, or consider what you mean to the black community. Basically trying to guilt them back into thinking into going to their side again, to staying with them. Basically stay on the progressive side, stay over, or if you're not going to stay on the progressive side, just stay on the apathetic side. Just don't get involved, don't say anything. Even if you do disagree, don't voice that, because we don't want people to think that there are people in the entertainment industry that are not liberals. So, which we know that is not true. We know there are some people who have a different way of thinking outside of being a liberal in Hollywood, but a lot of them, in the music industry or movie industry or whatnot, but you don't hear much, about it because of those reasons. Because one, they want to continue to work, and if they come out, it's gonna be they basically get blackballed, or to the point or it just becomes very difficult. That's why it tends to be a lot of older people who tends to go out and come out as being a conservative or Republican and whatnot, because at that point they've already made their money. But you don't see a lot of young acts out here doing that, because they want to want to still have a job, basically. So he, that's something you got to really consider as far as if he's going to continue down this path, because it's about to get real. His circle of friends, if he continue to go down this path, it's going to get real small, like real small. And there's going to be people constantly trying to persuade him in a friendly manner. I'm not going to say that. I would say the people that are close to him are going to do that. At least you're going to have his, people that are going to say, "Well, I was a fan. I'm no longer a fan because of, you said that you love how Candace Owens, thinks, or you wore a Make America Great Again hat and all that. I'm no longer a fan." They're going to probably sell, sorts of stuff. But the people that are closest to him, those are the ones that are going to be like really, trying to be like, be all friendly, like, and trying to persuade him, say, "No, maybe you shouldn't do that. No, consider your legacy." Like, like I said, what John Legend said. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I also saw a tweet from Chance the Rapper, which I thought was the best tweet of all this has been going on. Where he said, "Black people don't have to be Democrats," and that is the essential thought for me, as far as whatever I'm trying to say if I'm talking to someone about the black community, or trying to speak to another black person, is at the very least, you don't have to be a Democrat. You could be a libertarian. You could be a Republican, but I'm saying you don't have to be a Democrat. Like, there are other options. So, anyway, like I said, I'm pretty sure we're all going to be on this ride. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be paying attention to his Twitter, Kanye West's Twitter and all that. So we'll see where this goes, and pretty sure I'll be talking about it again. So, all right. So let's get on with part 2 of our conversation about the Avengers. But before that, let's hear about Politichicks, the clearing call to political activism. Hello, this is Brian Bledsoe, host of Trend Chat. Also, contributor at politichicks.com. Here to tell you about the new book called Politichicks, A Clarion Call to Political Activism, with over 300 pages from contributors like myself, talking about topics such as education, social issues, healthcare, the Second Amendment, and of course, activism. I encourage you all to check it out at politichicks.com, and is also available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Hello to fans of Trend Chat and Brian Bledsoe. The Founding Project, an education nonprofit dedicated to civics, invites you to visit our brand new website. Visit us at thefoundingproject.com. Be a part of the civics movement with The Founding Project. The Founding Project is a 501c3 education nonprofit. Please join us today.
So, I hope y'all enjoyed part one yesterday as far as talking about the first Avengers, and right now we're going to go into part two. And if I remember right, we ended as far as we were going into Avengers Age of Ultron. And so here we go. And yeah, I was just trying to remember. I actually forgot where we stopped. So I was just trying to remember that so I can actually go into it. So here we go with part two.
A lot happened. I mean, okay, start me off because I don't even know where to start.
Well, it ended with Thanos. It ended with Thanos, smiling because that the Earth has been defended, and like the last words in the movie was, I had it in my head, and that's when to go against them is to court death, and that's basically got Thanos all happy about going to war. So that's how it ended.
Right, and with Loki and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Loki went back to Asgard with Thor.
Yeah. Oh, Asgard, sore subject. If you haven't seen Ragnarok, you have no idea what we're talking about. But sore subject.
Well, you kind of giving it away.
I did not give it away. I just said it was, sore subject. I didn't say nothing. So, there's the Avengers and Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, basically, I think Tony, after everything that happened with, especially with, because I feel like I feel like we lost in, especially with, the Scarlet Witch, and what was the other guy's name? Quicksilver, was it?
Yeah.
I feel like we lost a really great opportunity there. I feel like they killed him off too early. I feel like he was trying to, redeem himself from all the mistakes he's made and, what happened in New York in the first movie by making this, perfect world, perfect intelligence, something that's always able, because, he has severe, so basically from taking the nuclear weapon out of New York and putting it, and basically sending it through, both the bomb and himself through a hole in the sky into space. That sounds ridiculous if you haven't seen the movie. It sounds stupid. That's what happened.
Yep.
And he, that can give a guy PTSD, and that's basically what he has. He has some really bad, he has some scars from it, and he wants to make a safer, more perfect world, and he thinks he can do that through creating a new form of AI, which obviously there's no, cyborg, there's no. It's the A300, whatever it is, not exist in this universe. Do make those movies not exist?
You did not. You didn't get the memo from these other times people tried this.
Yeah, it doesn't end well. Have we? The man you're based on, because Tony Stark is based off of Elon Musk. Have you not listened to your forefathers that AI will destroy the human race? And that's basically what happens. Is he basically, in order to, I guess his whole, the AI's whole reasoning, which James Spader is one of my favorite actors of all time. I'm so glad we got him. He was fantastic. I guess with the AI's whole Ultron's whole reasoning was basically that we're destroying ourselves. So in order to protect us, you have to destroy us or something of that nature. I haven't watched that movie in a while.
Yeah, that's some great logic right there.
Yeah, in order to save us, you have to kill us. Yeah, that works. So basically, that's what he does. Is he tries to basically take out through a series of like plans and all this stuff, tries to take out the human race, and because we're all imperfect and all that. There's a moral thing there, I'm sure. I like to ignore those things and just enjoy the movie, but because if we get too deep into it, we're going to get into some liberal Hollywood at some point, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I try to steer clear of that and just enjoy the Avengers.
We're trying hard. We're trying hard.
Yeah, we're trying. But if there's any kind of like politics, and because that almost ruined Black Panther for me, let me tell you, that almost ruined it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's the general gist of Age of Ultron. Is it's just basically an AI trying to destroy the human race, and now the Avengers have to come together and unite and destroy Ultron. And in that, I wouldn't say they necessarily succeeded, because of what happened to the country, but yeah, there's a lot of destruction in that one. That was some good CGI or whatever that was. That was great. But,
I mean, it wasn't New York.
Yeah, it wasn't New York. It wasn't America. Yay. For one, this is not on the American taxpayers' dime. But I mean, we gained Scarlet Witch. I was
yes,
really
we did.
We lost. But I was really annoyed we lost Quicksilver. I feel like he could have been a really interesting, like, especially comedically, the way he clashed with Hawkeye. I feel like that could have been something really interesting and fun, like kind of comedic relief to the destruction and all of that.
Yeah.
But to each their own.
Yeah, but we did get Scarlet Witch. I am glad about that.
Yeah, I feel like people don't give her enough credit. She has a really cool power. I'm not completely sure how it works, but I do like this whole romantic. And this is kind of shown in the movies. I feel like I wish they would. I think at least if the trailers are to be believed, as far as Infinity War goes, we're going to get more Scarlet Witch and crap, I'm blanking on the name.
Vision.
What's his name?
Vision.
On the tip of my tongue. Vision. Yes.
So how did you like basically Jarvis turning into the Vision, being one of your favorite characters?
I thought that was great. I think it was very reminiscent of who Jarvis was as a human being. Like the fact, like he was always, even with something that was supposed to be super intelligent, like even more advanced than Jarvis. Jarvis was full of surprises. Like he was always 3 steps ahead. Like pretending. How does an AI pretend to die? Like be obliterated, and he's hiding in the Matrix, basically. If I can call the Matrix forth, and like is making his own little plan to defeat Ultron himself. I'm over here like, what? You go, Jarvis, you go. Like, I mean, Jarvis was the hero for me in that story. I thought that was amazing, especially like, but it's also a little scary because, like, once again, we're talking about artificial intelligence, but then again, we're also talking about Jarvis. So I feel like no version of Jarvis in any form could ever be evil. So you know what I mean. So
what if it was? So what if it was on Jarvis versus Skynet?
Jarvis would win, just with his wit. It would be like epic rap battles, and Jarvis would just like destroy.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna explain why I asked that. I'm just asking you.
Well, I mean, Jarvis would cut Skynet with not only his amazing like power, but his sharp wit. You know, Like you never thought an artificial intelligence could be like witty, but Jarvis does it.
But Skynet does have, the ace in the hole, time travel.
Okay, Jarvis is already 3 steps ahead of that. He's already been to the past, the future, the present, and is already running circles. Okay, he's like, he's superior in all forms.
Well, that was basically Age of Ultron, and now we're kind of going through, and now we're into Captain America.
Like it's not all there's little details. Like if you haven't seen Age of Ultron, like I was trying to get through it quick. I was trying to like hit the like important points. Because there's villains in there and like characters that made things interesting. Thor had his little like pond experience, bringing because there was a whole process, like we talked about Vision a little bit. Like Vision was brought to life in Age of Ultron. Like that's an important point in this. I wanted to backtrack there. Vision coming to life was super important. And I didn't expect it to happen the way it did. Like, especially with Thor coming on board of all people. Like, did we ever get to see the vision he had? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think we got to see like bits and pieces. I don't know if we got
bits and pieces, but yeah, basically, in Age of Ultron, the vision that he had was the beginning of someone in the Avengers even having an idea about the Infinity Stones. It started there. Cause before they were just, they were either the Tesseract or they were other things, but they didn't know anything about these Infinity Stones. Well, Thor did, but he didn't know that had a connection with what's going on. But from that vision,
the Tesseract.
Yeah.
Can we touch on the Tesseract and the trailers for Infinity War for a second? Did you see Thanos destroy the Tesseract just by squeezing it?
In his barrel. Yeah.
What? And I feel like if he did that in front of me, I'd just be standing. I would really poop my pants. Like he just destroyed this all-powerful. But I feel like the Tesseract is probably actually an Infinity Stone or some kind.
Yeah,
of
it is.
Like,
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know which one, but it is one.
It was all along. Yeah, I don't know which one it is either.
Because
Loki's skipping over Black Panther because Black Panther happens in between Age of Ultron and Infinity War. Actually, I read somewhere that Black Panther, Black Panther had a really tough week because I don't know if this is correct, but I read somewhere that this Infinity War basically happens the same week as Black Panther.
Afterwards?
Dang.
So afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I read that somewhere. I was like, well, ooh, he needs a vacation.
No. Now, hold on. Now, if that is true, he really is having a bad week. Cause think about it. Remember, because not only Black Panther, if Infinity War is right after what happened to Black Panther, in the same week. Remember, his father died a week to this. Remember, because he just gets back home when Black Panther when Black Panther starts. He just get back home after.
He was almost he was pushed off a waterfall. He's a little tough though.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I'm trying. Wow. I read somewhere that was because everybody was debating when it would happen. And I thought I saw somewhere that it was supposed to happen basically, if not the same week, but super close together.
And you know what? And if that's true, I can imagine in Black Panther 2 that the people in Wakanda be like, you know what? Ever since you've been king, we ain't had nothing but strife, nothing but war. Ever since you've been king, we've been overthrown once. We done had aliens come from the sky. Ever since you've been king,
can I just get a break, y'all? I need some TLC. But my question is, if it happens within, the same period of time, even if it's, because we know that Infinity War and Black Panther, it can't be, at the max, there can't be more than, at least a month or two between, I feel like.
Yeah, I
right?
guess, well, I'm pretty sure we'll find out because if you saw, the post credit scene,
Well,
like Bucky
yeah,
just
because he comes walking out, so he's awake.
yeah.
And he's in Infinity War. That's why I'm like, I think the theory that, or I think whoever said that this is happening within the same week is correct. And they hinted to that at the end of Black Panther with Bucky being awake. Then that begs the question:
You
where has
think?
Captain America been all this time? Is he even hiding in Wakanda?
Hey, hey, do you? It just thought that came to my mind. Do, do you suspect that when they did that post credit scene, they try to make it seem like Bucky is woke?
Oh, let's not go there. Probably. The answer is yes. I mean, because if I say anything else, I'll probably get some angry emails too.
The Winter Soldier's woke, y'all.
Oh, you had to go ruin that too. It's like he hasn't been woke in like 60 years. Literally.
Had to get the white man's, language out of his head,
Oh God.
All right, yeah. Okay, I had to go there. Go ahead.
Oh, that just gives me a headache. But I mean, yeah. So like I said, I think that theory is correct, and maybe Captain America and Bucky are like somewhere off screen in a hut, like by the water. Like like I'm not saying like a hut, like I'm trying to be racist. Like I'm saying like in the post credit scene, like I'm saying in the post credit scene, Bucky wakes up in a hut.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, is that where they've been this whole? Because in the trailer, he comes out and he's like, and get this man a shield, and you see the bearded, shaggy Captain America in all black coming out, and I'm like, where have you been this whole time? Why weren't you in Black Panther? Could you not like help a brother out? Literally help a brother out? Like,
well, there were some comics. There were comics that were basically like a prelude to what is going to happen in Infinity War. So actually, so Captain America and I forget who else. I think it's Falcon and some other. Anyway, they're doing like little missions in between right now, in between the time of Civil War and into Infinity War. They're doing their other little missions here.
Here's the question I have, because I feel like if they tie this into the Captain America storyline somehow, because now we have a much darker, one thing we did forget to mention, this is important, this is why Captain America is all dark, shaggy, and brooding now, is at the end of the movie before that, they had like in Winter Soldier, in the Winter Soldier movie, they had a whole knockdown. Did we talk about Winter Soldier? I don't even know.
Civil War.
Oh, Civil War. Sorry. Yeah, they had this whole knockout drag out fight. I get them all. There's been so many movies now. You like lose track of them all, but I know what happened. But there's this whole knockout drag out fight between Captain America, Bucky, and Iron Man. And can I just say that fight was superb? Yeah, it was. Basically at the end of the movie, he's like, because it turns out that we found out in the previous movies that Captain America knew all along that Winter Soldier had murdered his parents, Tony's parents, and he had never told Tony, and he feels betrayed because this is this man that his father had been like building up as this like amazing superhero, amazing person, and here he is like betraying him, and he basically looks at him, and I thought this was a really well done scene. He's like, my father made that shield, you don't deserve that shield, and he just like throws it down, and you're like, is that the end of Captain America? And it was this whole thing. So now he's not wearing his red, white, and blue anymore, and as we see in like the new trailer, he's in all black. And he's grown a beard, which I appreciate. I like this new beard. I like it. It's like, it's edgy.
And and also one thing I've noticed from the trailers is that Captain America and Iron Man are not in the same scenes. At least not in none of the scenes from the trailer.
Well, when they're running towards whatever they're running towards at the
Oh
first
yeah, yeah,
trailer
yeah,
that
yeah.
ever
You're right.
premiered, when they're all,
I think they
yeah,
come. Yeah, at
they're
that
gonna
point.
be in scenes together. They have to be, and
Yeah.
they're planning the whole attack. Like they have to plan it because, as you know, which I'm so excited. Guardians of the Galaxy, those guys come in, and he's like, I know you have a plan, but your plan sucks. So let me make a plan, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
in that fashion, which I love. And so, they had to actually make a plan. And of course, later in I forgot if it's in trailer 102, he's like, Thanos is coming to us and we have what he wants, so this is what we can use. And he has to be talking to a group.
Yeah.
So I assume like the Wakandans and everybody are in this group by now. And they're like forming this whole plan because the whole battle takes place in Wakanda. And if you watch the second trailer, you see like Black Widow, and Captain America, and everybody.
Don't try to name them all.
Off of the yeah, I'm not gonna try to name them all, but those are the two like that stuck out to me. Like I saw her with her new blonde hair. I was like, ugh. They shake hands and So
yeah. And now in the comics, when it comes to Wakanda and Thanos, it's basically that in this great war, which basically it's going to happen from the looks of it, that they're going to kind of, leave Wakanda in ruins at the end of it.
Can I tell you what I think is going to happen?
What's up?
I think that they're going to figure out that what's powering all of their amazing Wakandans, because it's kind of going back to Black Panther, like this amazing city and all this amazing tech that they have. It's all powered by the oh my God, I'm blanking.
Soul Stone.
Well, no, it's all powered by the metal. What's the metal called? Vibranium.
Oh yeah.
Which is going to be, I guarantee it's going to be powered by an Infinity Stone. Stone. Because I was waiting to see in Black Panther. I was waiting to see in Black Panther if we were going to find out if there was an Infinity Stone in Wakanda, and they never brought it up.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think is powering all of their inventions, and it's going to get taken by Thanos, I think, because there's a part 2. So we know Thanos isn't going to be destroyed in this one. So I think he takes that and it leaves Wakanda. I do agree with you. I think it leaves Wakanda in ruins, and I think that the vibranium is no longer effective, and that's going to really affect their ability to fight him, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think because that's the one stone that has not been revealed is the Soul Stone, and so I think, like you said, I think that it's probably going to be in Wakanda, and that's one reason why they're going to have this battle there, and also to make it awkward once again. When this does happen, I'm pretty sure there are going to be some black people. Why you got to tear down Wakanda? We just built it. We just had it, and now they come in to tear it down.
Of course, the white man colonizers come in and just destroy everything.
We just can't have nothing.
We can't have nothing. Of course.
I can just see it now. If that what happens,
I will laugh so hard. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be freaking hilarious.
And I can only imagine what Black Panther 2 is gonna be about, them rebuilding or whatever like that. And or something.
If you look at, because I love Black Panther as a character, I think if you look at the comics, I think a lot of these people who came to watch Black Panther solely because it was a black superhero are going to be very disappointed in where the story goes. Main reason being because he and his current girlfriend / fiance, from what I remember, I haven't read his comics, his kind of universe in a really long time. But from what I remember, they don't end up together. He has a couple different romances and stuff like that, from what I recall. And I think it's just not going to be what they think it's going to be. You know what I mean? The characters aren't, it's not, the storyline isn't going to be exactly what they wanted.
Well,
and
I will say, I will say they, there will be a character that, if they are looking at it to go one direction, they'll have another character to relate to. That
Yeah.
and I said this in the review a couple of months ago when when Black Panther came out, is that there were a lot of people who are more fond of the villain in Black Panther than they were of Black Panther.
Oh, he was so great.
And not because of the acting. I'm talking about because of what he was about.
Oh, that is true. Like
Yeah.
destroying and everybody else. But the colonists had the right idea. They were like, "What do you mean go and murder the white man? That's a little bit extreme. We're in the year 2018. We can't just go murder people." And not just murdering people, but basically annihilating an entire race of people. Like, that is called genocide. What you're proposing, and that is generally frowned upon in most cultures.
Well, the response was, "Well, they did it to us." That's the response normally would be to the people that want to justify.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they did it to us. Let's do it back. Well, you know what? No, I'm not.
In a time period when we didn't know.
Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on.
But
yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I think there's going to be something like that. But I think Black Panther was actually boring. I don't know. Because I listened to your Black Panther episode, but I don't remember if you thought it was boring or not. I know you liked it.
Now I liked it. I liked it. Now here's one thing I didn't say in that episode that I didn't think about after I finished, and I'll say it now is, if you really think about it, honestly, Black Panther is pretty much Thor with black skin. If you watch the two movies, I'm saying.
Oh, you went there.
No, it's that what it's not saying that it's bad.
I love how you just compared him to like the whitest guy in the series. Like, you can
and I did that. I did that on purpose. But if you do look at the two movies and see what the plot is about, it's basically the same. It's basically the same type of story.
Visions of their fathers and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I never thought of it like that. Like, that's actually very true. Oh no.
Yeah, I mean,
look at Black Panther movies the same way.
And now you go watch it like, oh, that's Thor.
But the sad part is, I feel bad for Black Panther because he doesn't have a Loki. Now Loki is something else.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that Loki? Here's another question I had, because I was showing my parents, because I'm dragging my parents. I dragged them to see because I like tradition, and they took me to see Iron Man in 2008 when I was still like too young to like drive and go by myself. So every movie since then, I've always dragged them to go see it. So I'm dragging them to see this one, even though I'm an adult now. But I was watching it with my dad, and I noticed that Loki has the Infinity Stone, or not the Infinity Stone, but the Tesseract in his hands.
Yeah.
And he's walking over dead bodies. Do you think those are the Asgardians that were in Ragnarok that were trying to get to Earth?
Well, if you go back
do you think those are just soldiers?
I'm guessing this scene takes place in the ship, because if you remember, at the end of Thor Ragnarok, they encounter that Thanos' ship. So, and I'm guessing that at that point that this kind of we're at this point now anyway. So I'm guessing Thor may die right here.
I was actually gonna ask you that. Like, who do we think is, like, let's speculate who's gonna die.
Yep, and we'll get to that in part 3. Appreciate y'all listening. I hope y'all enjoying these episodes. It's been real. It's really fun to even like listen to these interviews over again, because it's just a fun conversation. So like I said, we'll do part 3 tomorrow. And hopefully by that time, I'm guessing some of y'all probably have already seen it. So until tomorrow, we'll chat with you later.